Risk, how to play. This game is played with 3 to 5 players. The objective is to be the last player standing. Lay out the board and have each player choose a colored army. Grab the deck and remove the secret mission cards. Shuffle it and place the deck on the side of the board. Each color contains 3 types of troops. Infantry is worth 1 troop, cavalry is worth 5, and artillery is worth 10. Divide the infantry into a separate pile and put the other troops aside. Each player counts out the number of infantry to start depending on the number of players. 3 players, you count out 35 infantry. 4 players, 30 infantry. And 5 players, 25 infantry. After counting, all players put the pile in front of them and set the rest of the infantry near them. They will be used soon. Everybody rolls a die, and the highest die goes first. Using your main pile, place 1 troop on any of the 42 territories on the board. The next player to your left does the same, and so on. Keep repeating this process until every territory has 1 troop. You cannot put a troop on someone else's territory. Now, the player who started puts another troop on one of their territories. The next player does the same, and so on. There is no limit on how many troops you place on a territory, and you may scatter them as much as you want. When everyone has used up their pile, the game is ready to begin, starting with the player who placed first. On your turn, you always start by counting the number of territories you have. When you have the total, divide it by 3 and remove any decimals. The quotient tells you how many troops you may place at the start of your turn. After placing, you may choose to attack. To attack, move 1, 2, or 3 troops into a neighboring territory. You must have at least 1 troop to protect your country when you attack. The defending country can use up to 2 troops, but they don't need a troop left over. Grab the dice. Red is attacker, blue is defender, and the number of troops you are using to attack or defend is the same as the number of dice you use. The battle is ready, and both players can roll all the dice at the same time. To compare the dice, put each player's highest roll together and their second highest if required. If there is a dice with no pair, ignore it. For every dice that was the highest roll, the opposite player loses a troop from the board, and they put it in their small pile. In this example, the attacker won in a pair and the defender won the other, so each player loses a troop. There is no limit to how much you can attack a turn or return to the same territory. Green returns with 3, while indigo only has 1 troop to defend. When you wipe out a player from their territory, you conquer it and move your attacking troops to it. You may also move more in from your territory. When you roll, but a pair is a tie, defender wins. Once you choose to stop attacking, pick a card from the deck if you have conquered at least 1 territory. Then keep the cards. They will be used later. Your turn ends, and the player to your left goes next. At the end of your turn, you may maneuver your troops. To do this, move 1 troop to one of your bordering territories. Maneuvering is optional. If you count your territories and have less than 9, you still place a minimum of 3 troops. When a player has an entire continent, they get to put in extra troops at the start of their turn according to the continent's rule box number. At the start of your turn, you may trade in your cards to have the advantage of placing more troops on that turn. To trade cards, you must have 1 of these 3 combinations: 3 of the same icons, 1 of each icon, 2 of the same icons plus a wild card. Trade the cards and put troops according to the number of trades made. If this is the first trade, then you get to place 4 extra troops. Second trade, 6 extra troops. Third trade, 8 extra troops. Fourth trade, 10 troops. Fifth trade, 12 troops. Sixth trade, 15 troops. Seventh trade, 20 troops. And now so on, adding +5 from 20. Add the additional troops to your normal total. The other troop types are made to trade with infantry to give you more to your pile. Trade 5 infantry in place of a cavalry. Trade 2 cavalry for an artillery. When a player has been eliminated, the attacker receives the eliminated player's cards and their pieces are pushed away. If you ever have 6 cards at once, you must trade a set immediately. A player wins when they are the last player on the board and occupy every territory. The player who conquers the board and eliminates all players wins. Check out this next video.